Nashlets, and welcome to today's edition of Noshing with Nashies, where we are going to hack a hack. You know that viral recipe that's been going around where people take tubes of crescent rolls and turn them into garlic bread? Well, we're going to do it two different ways and make it even better. So we're going to turn this into this. This is cinnamon roll apple bread, and then we have some garlic loaf as well. So let's head into my kitchen and hack this hack. All right, Nashlets, let's get ready to hack this crescent roll bread hack. I've never done this before, so you'll have to go into the description to see the full listed amounts that I used, because we are doing this on the fly. We're making two. We're going to do a garlic loaf, and we're going to do a cinnamon roll loaf for my friend Doc. So let's see what we're going to need for this. Obviously, we are going to need 4 tubes of crescent rolls. You'll only need 2 if you're going to make one loaf. That's perfectly fine. Got some garlic powder, which you can use. I'm using 6 cloves of actual garlic. Got some basil there. Now I'm going to link my apple pie filling. It's really, really easy for this apple pie cinnamon roll bread that we're going to be doing. We've got some mozzarella cheese. We've got some cinnamon. We've got some seasoning salt. You can use regular salt, it's fine. We've got a bunch of butter, and then we've got some brown sugar. So let's get to hacking this hack. Make sure you've got your bread pans and possibly a silicone brush to make putting the butter on easier. All right, let's go. All right, Nashlets, I've got 2 tubes of these. Let's go ahead and crack them open. In the hack, basically, they say to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to bake it, I believe it said, for a very specific 42 minutes, which I thought was funny. So I think it'll be between 40 and, 45 minutes to bake these. Make sure you grease up your bread pans. I'm so magic, they just pop on their own. Kind of like Mr. Nashies. They don't call me magic fingers for nothing. All right, Nashlets, let's go ahead and we're going to do this differently than just, taking these 2 things, basically putting a bunch of stuff in them, rolling them up, and putting them next to each other. We're going to connect them instead. All right, so you can see the edge of our crescent rolls here. And so I'm just going to take the edge of the other tube, and we're just going to kind of press them together and then go ahead and put them out. And that's where we're going to put our ingredients, is right on here. Now I have 1 cup of butter that is very soft. I melted it just a little bit. It's still semi-solid. And then we have 1 cup of brown sugar. I did not tightly pack this. It was loosely packed, with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon in it, and then a little bit of my apple pie filling here. So we're just going to put some butter over the top using our silicone brush. And then we are going to sprinkle on our cinnamon sugar mixture and then our apple mixture. All right, the reason why I started with the cinnamon apple roll bread here is so I didn't have to infect anything with the garlic, because garlic and cinnamon, as much as it's good in chili, might not be so good in the bread. And so it looks like we used about 1/2 cup of butter, which is perfect. So now we're just going to come in with our cinnamon sugar mixture and put this all over. This is one of those, we've never done it before, and so we're hacking it. And you can use salted butter or unsalted, depending on what you like. Now, these are pre-made crescent rolls, so they will have a little bit of salt in the recipe as it is. So I think you'll be okay without salted butter, but if you want some, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. And yes, as you can see, that cup was perfect. And just go ahead and spread it out to your edges here. And if we don't have enough apples from this, that's perfectly fine. It'll just be, a little less. But we just want to sprinkle these right over the top. Oh, that's perfect. Yes, we are going to have apple stuffed cinnamon roll bread. And I think Doc would really, really like this. He loves cinnamon rolls. He does. He just loves cinnamon rolls. That's why I call him my little cinnamon roll. All right, Nashlets, now we're going to take, and we are just going to go to the edges here, and we are going to roll up, as you can see here. We're just going to roll it up, make sure it attaches at that seam point. Perfect. We are just going to roll it into a log. All right, it's messy, but don't worry, it's going to be good because this is going to rise. I'm going to go grab my bread pan. All right, as you can see, I have greased my bread pan here. We're going to go ahead and just pinch that shut right where the seam came apart. We are going to lay this in here, and I'm just going to let this sit while we put together our garlic loaf now. All right, Nashlets, so I've got our other bit of butter here, which is about a half a cup. I've got 6 cloves of garlic here that I'm just going to go ahead and dump in. If you want to use garlic powder with this, go with anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on how much garlic flavor you like, that's fine. I'm going to add in, a tablespoon or 2 of basil just because I like it. And then I'm going to come in with, a quarter of a teaspoon or so of seasoning salt because, again, like I said, these have salt in them, so I don't want to over salt anything. You can go more if you like a little more, and if you just have regular salt, that's fine. And if you don't want to do salt, that's perfectly fine too. It's still going to taste good. Just give that a quick whip. All right, there we go. Let's get ready to do this garlic loaf with mozzarella cheese. All right, Nashlets, I've got my cheese in a bowl here. We have our garlic butter. Let's do the exact same thing. You can see I've put the seam together here. And like I said, a cup of butter was perfect. It was a half a cup of butter for each of these, so that's perfect. And I don't know, this is about 2 cups of shredded mozzarella. And we're just going to put that right over the top here. And toward the end of baking, like I said, it's going to be anywhere between like 40 minutes and 45 minutes or so. Toward the last, 7 minutes or so, I'm going to put a little cheese on top of this particular loaf. So we top it with some cheese. But I thought it would be better to do it this way and roll it up and make a big loaf. I mean, this may go horribly, I don't know. Than just doing the 2 and putting them next to each other. I thought that would be a little bit different. All right, Nashlets, we have our very ugly roll. We have our sprayed bread pan here. We are going to plump that in there. Just kind of put it into shape. All right, I'm going to pinch that shut just a hair. Not that it's really going to matter all that much. But we are going to stick these in the oven, 350 degrees, like I said, 40 to 45 minutes. And we'll see how this turns out because I don't know. I've never done this before. See you in a bit, Nashlets. All right, Nashlets, here's our cinnamon roll apple bread, and here is our garlic bread loaf. They look like they're done. I hope they're done. We're going to find out in about 10 minutes or so when I flip these out. I can tell you my house smells amazing. It's cinnamon and garlicky, and they look really good. So here's hoping that this works out. Well, Nashlets, this didn't just work. This came out absolutely incredible. Can you see these? Now, if you're expecting them to be like as dense as a loaf of bread, they are not going to be. This is going to be like a pull-apart bread, if you're familiar with those, because obviously this is not done with a regular bread dough. They come out so amazing. It took about 45 minutes in total, maybe a couple of minutes extra. But oh yeah, these would be perfect to serve up as, you know, a side to a dinner or just to nosh into or as a breakfast. And it's a really, really fast and easy and so tasty. Oh my goodness. But does this hack work? Yes, it does. And does my hack of the hack work? Yes, it does. And everything I have done will be down there in the description. This is affordable, this is fast, and this is incredibly tasty. These are both things you can have on the table for your family in just the time it takes to bake, so you can be doing other stuff while this is doing its thing. It's only minutes to prepare it. Thank you so much for joining me for today's really fun hack edition of Noshing with Nashies. And remember, if you come to a fork in the road, pick it up and have a nosh. Nosh it with Nashies. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Consider becoming a member and check out one of my other recipe videos there on your screen. I'll see you in the next one, Nashlets. Bye!